Here, I have to keep my glasses off until I get a couple questions or people appear. But today's been pretty good. I didn't, even though I was at work, it wasn't too horrible. I can't wait to my new schedule, but at least I'm working. So things like this aren't too bad. But I'm here on another stream. I was jamming out to Ozzy Osbourne. I was enjoying that. I love Ozzy. Well, Ozzy is one of my all-time favorite. But I guess Shannon Doherty, and 90210 and Charmed. I guess she had ovarian cancer or something, and she, I guess, died today. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty. It kind of makes you think, honestly, when people just die suddenly like that. I mean, our time is limited on the earth we're on, and that's just. I guess that's just life. So, but yeah, we were talking about that at work today. I'm gonna go smoke some of this, get some conversation going. I wish I could have. I wish I could have, honestly, the music, because I think the music would be fun. But I guess that's just not happening in my world. There's too much of a music controversy these days. The hell, I got stuck in the same as coming out of the hole. Ugh. But I'm ready for questions. I mean, yesterday I got involved with a bunch of fun conversation, but I'm ready for some tarot readings today. If anybody's out there that wants one, it's kind of. Oh, what's Chong doing here? I'm not the most exciting, but I'm just here to try to get some conversation before the husband comes home and pretty much just see, just conversate over here. But yeah, it wasn't a bad day. And honestly, I don't think I have anything to seriously bitch about. I've got 15 days until I have a better schedule, and I think I'll like it. Even though I'm okay with management, I really don't want to be there when we're on a state inspection. That's one time you really don't want to be at work. I do have one of my coworkers. She's going through a really bad divorce. A really bad divorce. I'm gonna make her a crystal. Oh, I got a customer, I think. I got a customer, someone that wants to talk. One of the two. Well, hello. And let me see if I can actually pronounce this name. Muzzamul or Muzzamai? Johnny. We're going to call you Chong, friend, because I don't know how to pronounce that name at all. But hello, how are you? Do you want to tarot reading, or do you just want to talk? I mean, honestly, you can't. I don't know. Having a tarot reading every day just would be exhausting. I would think, but I'm just here socializing, talking about my day. I was chilling out, listening to some Black Sabbath. Oh, you're good? Well, that's good. I'm glad you're good. I'm good too. For once, I'm having a good day. Okay. Oh, hello. How are you? I'm here. I always have some kind of crazy day at work, but that's the way it is. Oh, you're welcome. Do any of you guys want a tarot reading? Because sometimes I forget about these and then I get a lot of stuff. Oh, thanks. I figured I'd just put my hair up this way. Since there's no filters over here, you kind of have to do your makeup and stuff. I mean, you really don't have to on TikTok and stuff. You can just be sitting there looking half dead and put a filter on and be fine. But over here, it's different. Oh, I'm okay. Oh, thanks. I probably got to get a new pair from the doctor. But I have lots of little pairs of glasses because I can't really read without them, so I have problems. So it is what it is. If that's my most major problem in the world, I'm not worried about it. But I don't know if you guys heard about Shannon Doherty. She died today because she had uterine cancer. Alright, let's just see. Do you sound. Oh, I'm not depressed. I mean, I guess I do. I'm depressed sort of every day because I'm always in depressed mode. But today's not bad. My work's worried about me, so they put me in places I'm happy because I'm a useful human being. I guess it is what it is. Lighter. Oh, my lighter. Yeah, it says bite me. I like to get the most unique lighters. This way, when somebody says, "Oh, I don't have your lighter," I'll say, "I had that crazy ass lighter that had said this," and then they can't argue. Went to. Oh, well, we can be friends. I mean, I'm on here almost every day socializing. I call this socializing live streaming. I don't know how to do all that kind of live streaming that some of these big YouTubers do. I really don't. It's just they're either interviewing or they got a whole layout done and they have camera crews. I don't know how to do that kind of live streaming, and I don't think that I ever want to, honestly. I like to have the fun live streaming, and I feel some of the live streaming out there is not fun. So, I like to have fun. I don't. I feel if you don't have fun in life, it makes it very, very depressing. And if you're always talking about depressing things, I feel like it makes you stay more depressed. So, that's just what I personally feel. I could be wrong. So, your smoke detector battery is almost dead. Yeah, I know. And I'm too short to get up there, and the husband's supposed to fix it, and he works like a maniac, so there we are. I don't know. I think people that are kind of unique are just drawn to this channel altogether because I'm not a normal person. I mean, I have, I guess, a somewhat important job in the world, but all the same, I'm not a normal person. I don't think normal like everyone else, but I do have, I guess, a higher profile job, but I am one of the weird ones in the world. And I accept this. And people that generally either appreciate the work I do or are just weird like me happen to just migrate towards me. I mean, I have some people that aren't weird that like me, but then they work with me and they know that I'm good with medical, so they respect me, but they're not weird. But most people that vibe with me are kind of on the are the weird ones in society. I'm a free thinker, and I feel once you see the other side, you just can never go back to being normal ever again. Well, I am. I'm a little. I like to be fun, and I don't like to be serious because I see death every day. I do. I either see death or I see close to death every day, and I see the worst parts. Being a nursing, you see the worst parts of, I guess, human existence, and you just kind of want to come home and and I guess grab your inner child and enjoy the time you got left without all the stuff you see that's coming. I mean, honestly, that's what life's about. And when you work so closely with death and your coworkers are sitting there go, oh, they go in threes. I think this one's going to die next. I think this one's going to die next. You're just like, what the fuck? You know, it's like these guys are people just like us. And one day in 20, 30 years or 40, that's going to be us. And all the shit talk you do comes right back to you when it's your turn. So I feel, honestly, that we need to just try to have fun and just make our existence nice. Because if we don't, it's just going to be bad for your karma. So I come in and I like to be fun. That's why most of my friends from work joined my group because I always have fun posts on there. I shared all of my um, Instagram and posts over here because I like to have fun posts. I like the one that was funny because it's mac and cheese day, and I'd like to and then I would sit there and go, ooh, the other white meat. I just put it out there. I got a lot of likes on Instagram. You just see my picture, and then you see Happy Mac and Cheese Day, and then oh, the other white meat. It was funny. I like to do things that aren't always with the dog. When I started out, I was just a dog walker and all that, but I like to explore the funny side of life. So this is what I do. I like to have fun and make fun in what I can because I mean, we get close to death, it's just so depressing. It is. It's like your kids are always busy. You're lucky if they drop you off some soap and clothes, and by that time you got somebody wiping your ass. So you might as well enjoy the time you have left and try to stay active. I feel if you don't stay active in life, and you're not constantly doing things, I feel you age faster. And it starts like getting it'll bother you. So I don't want any of that. I want to have fun. Yeah, you do gotta live. You never. You're. My mom used to always say that you're not guaranteed tomorrow. You're only guaranteed the day you woke up to. So you might as well do everything in that day that you would want to do to make you happy. That's why I have a bucket list going on. I mean, God must like my bucket list. If they're whoever's up there, my bucket, I have a very specific bucket list. And a lot of things on the bucket list are stuff that's actually going to help people, but there's little things on the bucket list. Like I do want to jump out of an airplane, but that's in the future. But then I'm so clumsy, I'm afraid that I might kill myself. And I don't want to die this way. I do have a death list of I'm okay with dying, but I don't know. If there's a malfunction, that's not on my death wish. That's not on the list of ways I want to die. I'm still going with bullet to the head or hospice because all the other ways to die do not seem like fun at all. I feel death is better when it's quicker, and or if you're just on a lot of drugs, because this Roxanol and morphine they give you for all the hospice patients, I swear they are very stone looking, these guys. They're not feeling any bit of pain before they die. So I guess dying naturally, it's almost like you die in your sleep. So I don't mind. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, it's not like if you a morphine's not horrible for you if it's an extreme emergency like surgery or if you're dying. Because so what? More it could be addicting, but if you're dying, who cares? If you're like 80 years old, who cares? Sometimes it's just a helpful thing to have some morphine when you're that old. But generally, they won't give you anything like that unless you're on hospice. But you'll get other stuff. Oh no, me either. I've been on there. I've been on Death's Pathway twice. I was in, God, when I was younger, I was in a car accident, and well, actually, I didn't. I wasn't close. I didn't die and come back then. That was when I got some kind of. It was like got it like a parasite type thing because I had a rare steak. Because I used to like eating my steak rare, and they cooked it wrong, and I ended up getting some kind of thing in my stomach, and it was like some kind of it was eating me alive, and I literally flatlined and came back. So it was terrible, but honestly, I thought it was gonna would be horrible to die, but I was achy, and they had me with a lot of drugs on me when ICU, and I seen my mother, and I didn't see a white light at the end of the tunnel. I really didn't. Me and my mom were at a bar, and we were drinking, but it was a gold bar, and all of the liquor was free. So I was vibing, and I even didn't want to go come back. I was like, shit, I get to see my mom again, and I can hang out at this bar until whatever else comes. I mean, what more can you have in life? So that was my first experience with death, and I liked it. But I had to come back. My mom told me I had to. So maybe I meant to come and bother you guys. I don't know. Maybe this was my path. Just coming over here and bothering people and working in a nursing home. I don't. You had an accident years ago. I was in a tunnel. That siren showing my whole life. And that sounds like a good time. I know when they had me on all that and I passed, man, it was great. They had to bring me back twice because they had to give me some damn medicine after, because I lost a lot of weight because they couldn't give me any food or nothing. So I just literally sat there for 2 weeks with no food, but I was so sick and doped up, it didn't matter. And when I went, and I don't know, it was like there was no pain, and it was really nice. And it was like a relief. You had no worries, nothing. It was like done. But it's like sometimes death just, if they don't want you. Okay, I think it's gonna rain, Chong. It's a thunder. Okay, that's it. He's looking at the window. He's afraid because of the thunder. But honestly, I wasn't afraid of death. I actually was embracing it because sometimes what you go through so much, you're okay and you're ready to go. And then sometimes death just says fuck you and brings you back. So, but yeah, I think that death is great. Yeah, I didn't feel any pain, but maybe that's because they had me on morphine at that point. I had morphine drips, so I felt no pain. And they even waived my bill because I took an experimental medicine. They had this medicine. Oh, hello. Let me see this name. I'm trying to. What is it? Saija? Well, hello, Saija. But yeah, they gave me an experimental medicine because they said they couldn't identify the parasite and this and that. So I had this doctor come in, and I wish I was making this up. I really wish I was because I thought I was in the middle of a goddamn horror movie. His name was Dr. Mystery. And he came in and he had me sign papers and said that he had medicine that since I was already dying, if I went with his treatment, because it was like a experiment type thing or study, and I had nothing wrong with me before I ate the steak and got the parasite. And he had this medicine he was going to put through my IV, and he said all these people died because they had other complications wrong with them. And I'm like thinking to myself, this is what the universe does to me. And I was okay with it. I really was. I was like, whatever. I was like, I got two kids, so let's see where it goes. If not, at least my kids know I tried. And I got the medicine next, and that's how I flatlined twice because it takes you out and and then brings you back, and then and it's supposed to rebuild you when it does that. I don't know. It's some kind of weird treatment that they had going around, and not a lot of people survived it. Somehow I did. So they said it was supposed to make you look younger. It was supposed to help your brain. It would, because you know how sometimes when you get older, your brain isn't as sharp. It's supposed to help generate brain cells and all kinds of stuff. And I was just like, whatever. I was dying anyways, and there I am. I lived, and my son made me go to the hospital. I did not even want to go. I was just going to sit at home and hope the hell it went away, but it was not going away. YouTuber live. Oh, well, yeah, I think that's how the universe does it, because honestly, I think that's how I got popular on Facebook. I'm glad you liked. Huh? I'm glad you. Oh yeah, my son. Yeah, he literally picked me up off the couch and told me he was taking me to the hospital, and I told him I wasn't going. And he brought me there forcefully in his car, picked me up, and put me in his car. And then he said he wasn't leaving the hospital until I got admitted because he knew I was going to sneak out of the hospital. And then I ended up with all kinds of stuff, and it was like over a $50,000 bill that they waived because of the experimental medication. So maybe the universe wanted me to live. I don't know. And honestly, when I started on Facebook, I was really shitty. I had no clue how to do anything, and people just kept migrating over to me, and it was weird because I should have been on the what happened here page on Facebook, but somehow everybody just kept migrating towards me. So I finally got a live button. And then next thing I know, I had issues with some of them, and I ended up going to Instagram live streaming. And I liked it over there for a little bit. It wasn't bad. You're allowed to cuss. You were allowed to play music at that time. And when my husband was live streaming for Twitch, he could have stayed there, and I was actually able to record him streaming without getting in any violations. So I did that for a while, but it was really goofy and crazy. You just heard my husband screaming, "Eat my cocoa ass." So, and then people found it hilarious because I have people on my stream streaming and screaming. So I don't know how I became popular. Probably because they never seen anything crazy like it. And I don't cover up anything. If I do a fuck up or there's just something crazy happens, it's like, oh the fuck, well, it happened. Why sit there and edit out stuff? I don't believe in that. I think keep it real and raw, and it's better. It's not fake. And I don't like the fake live streamers, especially like on TikTok, that are always, I don't know, the real godly ones. And I get it. I'm not against godly people, but I grew up Catholic, and when there was a time for that kind of stuff and there was a time not for it, and some of them are holier than thou over there. It's like they don't actually have real conversations with anybody. It's almost like they're lecturing. And as far as I'm concerned, I was raised by a mom and a dad, and I went to school, but I'm an adult, so I don't need people to tell me what to do. I mean, as adults, we can learn what we want, do what we want, and if we want, we just, I guess, look at the consequences, and that's life. And a lot of those YouTubers, or some of them live streamers, it's like they're preaching to you. I don't like preaching. I mean, who am I? I'm nobody. I'm just somebody that wants to have fun. That's it. Because I don't believe anybody should judge anybody. And I don't believe anybody's better than anybody. I really don't. I mean, once you've been through the path of death and everything else, you just realize you're just one small existence in this entire universe. And it's quite scary the way the universe is put together. So I really do believe there has to be some sort of higher being to be able to manage all these different multi universes and keeping all these planets alive and all this different kind of life going. I mean, there definitely does. I will agree. There does have to be something in the world or in the universe, but I don't know if anybody's going to be smart enough in this generation to figure it out. So I guess while we're living and breathing, we might as well enjoy the new discoveries and just put some crazy half cocked quantum theories out there. Because when we're dead, they'll find out other information that would have been useful now. That's how life goes. I mean, poor Einstein. When he was growing up, nobody really believed him. He was kind of ridiculed in the scientific community, and once he's dead, and all these years later, all of a sudden everyone thinks he's a genius when he's dead. This is what happens to smart people. You know, I guess Stephen Hawking, at least he got to live his life out. And, and people actually recognize his smartness, but that's never, sometimes it's not the case with some smart people. Yeah, me either. It's bad karma to judge people. It's really bad. Even if you think, let's say somebody murdered someone. Even if you judge them and they did something really bad, you can get bad karma from that, even if they did do something real bad, because it's not up to you to judge. I don't control karma. I don't know if I would be a good person, I guess, to control karma, because everybody would have a fucked up existence, because I would be trying to help and some crazy stuff would happen and everything would be overturned. So I'm glad I don't control these things. I'm not sure if I could and how efficiently that would go down. So I'll just be the happy live streamer that comes and makes my mark every day. I feel maybe my purpose is to talk to people and see what's out there and maybe try to help an animal or two. Whatever hits my path. I'm feeling that's what I'm supposed to do. And it's a cheap way of doing it. It's not overly expensive. I mean, you already got a phone. So, I guess the hardest part about live streaming, especially coming over here, is you gotta pretty much, I think, you gotta start out on either Facebook or Instagram. And Instagram sometimes could be a hard animal. Sometimes you're lucky enough to, a lot of times it's better to start out on Facebook and get your profile together and things like that. And it seems like if you're over there enough, then all of a sudden buttons open up over here. I think I've done so much bitching over there about how I hate. There's some awful people over there, and it's from it's the scammers and that sex side of Facebook. And I'm not against sex. It's just that other side, fans only. I've never been over there, don't want to be, but I've heard it can get pretty damn graphic over there. And then you get these profiles in, and these are the people that watch your streams. And it's crazy because they never say anything useful. They never really participate in there. All they do is they want to know if they could send you money or if you can go on WhatsApp. So I guess my advice is never go on WhatsApp unless, I don't know. I feel there's scams over there, and they pretend that they're interested in you and this and that, and they do probably get some lonely people over there. I have never downloaded this WhatsApp app because when anybody has asked me about this WhatsApp app, I already knew that they were up to something fishy. I don't think there's any love on WhatsApp. And I can honestly say this. And I wouldn't honestly. I don't think I would do anything with Facebook. Like if there a girl just appears wanting to date you or a guy, they're probably fake too. So this is the kind of environment you have to start out as a live streamer. So I would just ignore them, and Facebook does is nice enough to where they block your bad comments, and you can have them do that. So I did, but it was always sexual comments, and it's just some messed up individuals at times over there. But I think if you can start a live streaming career from Facebook to Instagram, wherever you go, I feel you would be okay. Because they will literally tell you to take your pants off or take your top off or just do crazy stuff all the time on every single stream. And Facebook won't shut you down if you're, as long as you don't define yourself nastily. I always would ignore them, or that's the best way, or you can make fun of them. I found it better to make fun of them in a nice way. I would be like, okay. I was like, you have no hobbies today. You just want to tell people take their pants down. And then I moved along with my stream. And then they would get angry and this and that. And then there you go. But I feel that I probably could deal with just about anybody. And being a medical, I've dealt with every attitude there is to deal with. And I don't even think anything makes me feel uncomfortable when you're in my line of work and then having to start in that environment. I am fearful of. I hope. I don't know. I'm scared if Google ever calls me or tries to get a hold of me. I don't know if I could do that. That's scary. That's millions of people, millions up on those Google's live streamers. I mean, they're well. They got an operation like you wouldn't believe. Those Google live streamers. I don't know how I would even fit in over there. So I'm hoping they don't ever call me for a while because I'd have to get my shit together. I don't know what I do. I don't. I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to cuss or not. I kind of like saying what I want to say. So I don't know. I feel like there might be more rules over there at Google. They're kind of bougie over there. Oh, I could deal with anybody. I get along and I'm friends with easygoing people. But I put people in their place. I don't give a fuck. If someone's acted out of sorts, I will put them right the fuck in their place. And I just don't care. I would tell people when I was live streaming over Instagram and all that, if they bothered me, they could go ahead and unfollow me. I don't care. Things don't bother me like that. I'm not dying over if I don't get one subscription or one follow. It's a free country. There's free will. That's the way I'm looking at life. I do whatever the fuck I want and say what I want. So, well, who am I to tell someone if they want to follow me or not? I don't care. If you do, you do. It is what it is. It's gonna work out or it's not. So, but I had a good learning experience with Instagram. I think Instagram is the best way if you did want to start live streaming. Instagram's the better way to go. You get less people that are gonna troll you, and they act a little more professional over there. Because they say Facebook owns Instagram. Oh, I'm strong because I've been through stuff, and Honestly, you just get to the point. Oh, it's okay. It was going all around work where everybody was asking me about Trump and all that, and I was like, "Well, I don't know what to think about it." I go, "Our president said he's a black woman, and he's horrible with the budget, and honestly, whatever's going on in that White House, everything's too expensive over here in the United States." And when Trump was in, it was cheaper and it was easier to live. And you have Biden saying he's a black woman, so it's all fucked up over here. And I don't understand how they don't have better qualified people trying to run for president. You have all kinds of stuff. This is why I try to be bipartisan when it comes to politics because I like to look at the person and at their party or what they represent. I try to see who that person is as a whole, not who they're affiliated with, and I feel that people don't do that, and there might be somebody that's a really good person, and because no one's really looking into things like what their what their ideals are, and just the people they're affiliated, they probably pass up good people. That's what I'm thinking. But I think Trump might actually, since it's only Trump and Biden, I just don't see how Biden could be president again. The economy is kind of shutting down, and Trump is the better choice. He doesn't think he's a black woman. He's not being accused of having dementia and all this stuff. And he's way better with business and way better with money than Biden. Way better. So I mean, I do honestly, they didn't have a strong enough candidate. It's probably going to hurt them. I don't know, and I think Biden's like 80. I don't even know. I mean, who knows? I know everybody at work saying that if Biden stays in after almost getting like Alzheimer's and all this, and coming up saying he's a black woman and this and that, that they're puppets. So maybe they're all right. I mean, it's sad. It really is because I was talking to my other friends, and I guess they say that government corruption goes pretty deep, and sometimes some government, our government, so there's bad and good, and some of the bad in our government, they're in charge of human trafficking. Some of them, and all through history, honestly, most of your people that have done the most crazy stuff and horrible acts of humanity have been people with a lot of money. There was a lady in England. God, it was. No, I think it was King Henry's daughter, Mary. This is one of my favorite stories. Oh my God. And I don't know if you guys ever did that Bloody Mary thing. If you go into the mirror and you say Bloody Mary, I think it's like 5 times, shut off the light and turn it on. They're supposed to, Mary's supposed to appear with a bunch of blood and bring you like a bad or good omen. Oh, yeah, well, they are greedy. They really are. They don't care about human existence. And to know that there's government officials in charge of taking little kids and whatever the corruptions that goes on, because I don't know specifics, so I'm not going to sit there and pretend I know. I don't. I just heard. that the government's involved in that. So all these little kids that get taken, put on drugs, and raped over and over again is just a lot of times corruption in the government, and they allow this. And it's horrifying. It's you live your whole life to have one child or do something in your life, and then you die, and just to know that one child you gave birth to gets taken, raped, abused, and for what? And then they say that it turns them on. It turns them on to see people tortured. But through history, this went on. It was King Henry VIII's daughter, Mary. She's the one that she killed a lot of. She was all for like the Catholic type thing. But yeah, she was the best. I mean, I read a whole book on this on King Henry VIII's daughter, Mary. But the funny thing about that is Mary was actually, when his dad died, he married his mom and they had a girl. So some people are saying that King Henry's daughter, Queen Mary, they think she had psych problems because the relations were too close. Mother and son are not supposed they're not supposed to have kids. But in these royal lines they did. And I guess she got real sadistic. She got real weird. She used to bathe in the blood of virgins. She would take like village kids and they would never see their kids again. And she would kill them, drain their blood, and bathe in it to look younger. That's why when you say Bloody Mary and go in there, everybody was terrified of Queen Mary. Terrified. She never had any kids either. Never. I mean, I guess who the hell's going to date somebody that's killing people and bathing in blood? Who the hell wants that for a wife? I mean, I can see why she didn't have damn kids. But yeah, I do. I love history too. History's when I was in college. History is my favorite subject, and I actually love it. And some of the most notorious killers are through history, and they do repeat themselves. The same corruption that was in the Black Ages and the Dark Ages. I mean, it's just the same thing recycled, except at a more, I guess, more technical level. The same thing that happened in the Dark Ages is happening now. It's just they can't burn any books because there's social media. But they did take away money. They took away opportunity. They used to do a lot of crazy stuff like this human trafficking. They would do things like that in the Dark Ages. They had all that medieval torture stuff. And I feel that we're going back to that, but in a different way. You are shocked knowing hundreds of years ago. Oh, you were shocked about that? That's how royal lines were in Scotland and England. You either married your cousin, your sister. They felt like this practice kept your bloodlines more pure. It had nothing to do with race. It was they wanted their bloodline to be pure. King Henry VIII wanted his bloodline pure. That's why he had Mary with his mother, because he wanted to be king. His uncle was going to marry his mom, but he said, "Fuck that! I'm married my mom." And he slept with her enough to get her pregnant to have Queen Mary, and then he stopped. And then he just ended up going with random girls after that, and the Catholic Church got mad at him at one point because he was fighting other women, and somehow the church was okay with it, and I don't know how. This is why I say religion could be corrupt too. They actually had an agreement with the Pope and everything at the time. They gave money, and the church had power back then. Oh my God, the church had power. Church had more power than the government. I mean, I want to say that the Pope back then had more bodyguards than anybody. He was more important than presidents and everything. And if you didn't back with the church back then, you pretty much failed, especially if you were like a government thing. And pretty, if you think about it, it's like that now. Vatican City in Rome. Oh my God. I would love to get in their library. They have people's dead bones. They got the shroud of Jesus. And they won't let no one look at it. And then they got the bones of Peter, one of the disciples. They actually have tombs where they excavated all these different bones, and it's in Vatican City. And then they took a lot of artifacts that were like in World War II that were almost lost. And they had underground tunnels and they hid all that shit. They got a lot of stuff. And I would love to get my hands in there. I don't, but it's heavily secured. Heavily. Because but it's very interesting. Vatican City is very, I want to say it's one of the most mysterious places ever. You think about, you have all those exorcisms that went through. There's a part of Vatican City under the tunnels where they say that they brought evil, and they have some evil artifacts and stuff there. And they say that the next darkness is coming from Vatican City. So that's what they say. Well, they all are. They're 100 years old. They know 10 different languages. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I've seen some things. I've read the exorcism ceremony from Vatican City because there was a writer. He they let him in Vatican City, and he translated their ceremony for pretty much getting rid of an evil spirit. But the thing I thought was hilarious when I actually read it in Old English, because they translated to at least Old English. No, I can't. I've never been to Rome. I would love to be to Rome. I would love to go in there. It has a very good supernatural history. They have, and like I said, their exorcism, like the old exorcism ceremonies, their way of getting rid of an evil spirit is bringing it into them. And the thing that I think is hilarious is, because I can see dark and light. If you allow something that's dark with dark intentions inside a priest or a holy vessel, I don't understand why they think this is a good thing. That makes that spirit happy because they're taking over you and they got more influence to hurt more people. I mean, look at all the poor altar boys that get raped, and that goes on too. That's crazy. Oh, it does. Most of your horror movies are there. You've got all the history of. You got so much rich history in Rome. God just, Rome itself. If you go back to the when Rome was its own entity and there wasn't an ancient history, Rome is. I think it's honestly in one of those ley lines. They have different. I've been studying ley lines lately, And I think certain countries sit on certain ley lines, and it conducts different kinds of energies. And I feel these energy ley lines kind of like they do go like different ways to the earth. They don't know enough about them, but I think they affect things. And I think if you're like laying on, and I think they are on one of these ley lines. And I think that where that mosque thing is, where that big black stone is, where everybody worships in the Middle East, I think that's on another ley line. And Vatican City's on a ley line. Because it's been a very, those two are the most protected grounds. That part of the Middle East and Rome. For some damn reason. For all this time in history. So it would make sense to me. But yeah, this is what the Catholics like to do, like during the day. And then they would wonder why these priests got so corrupt or got evil, bad thoughts. They're letting all this darkness in, and they had a fancy ceremony, but once you read and interpret it, because it took me like 3 months to kind of research it and understand the entirety of it. And literally all they're saying is, okay, let that person go and have meat. So no wonder they had so many people getting possessed. If I was an evil spirit, I'd say, you know what? I kind of want that priest body, so I'm just going to possess this little girl over here. So he gives up his body so I can do some more damage. This is what happens. It has to, and it doesn't make any sense to me. But no one goes to the extremes as I did, because I had to go to the library, search for the book, because after they wrote The Exorcist, because after the writer left Vatican City and wrote the book, it didn't get very popular. But I found it and I read it, because I feel sometimes the books that aren't as popular can be the most useful. Like I read the biography of Charles Manson also, and it is it's one of the best books I ever read. He was a very interesting man, and I feel he created his own personal demons, and his mother was a prostitute, because he did write that in his book, and that's why he didn't really respect women a lot. And he did end up in trouble. He ended up like in juvie because she was like a prostitute too. So I feel he kind of got some kind of I feel he got different conditions and got kind of messed up in the head with all of his little personal demons, because he had such a tough road. He had no guidance, and sometimes this happens. But I guess he's our most colorful killer. And really, I don't. The reason he never got really the death penalty is because he had everybody else kill for him. So, which made him very intelligent. Very intelligent. Most of your killers. My mom used to always tell me to always be polite to people, and I will tell you why. Because most of the killers in the world, the reason that they will like decide to murder one person over another is because they're somebody wasn't polite to them. Because I used to study criminal psychology for a while, because I wanted to know what made people tick and why they killed each other and this and that, yada yada. And that's a big part of it is manners. So if you're ever at a bar, don't get cocky with people, be on guard or whatever. Because if somebody plans to murder someone and they're in a mood and you just get in their face, you're going to literally be the first one they take out. But even because I was researching Hannibal Lecter too, He only ate and killed the people that were impolite, but anybody that was high society or he felt had a purpose, he would let them live and he would not eat them. So that's food for thought there. If you're ever in a situation, always be nice and courteous. And do not judge because these people that are killers, they don't like when you judge them and they don't like when you act ignorant. Because you'll be the first person they either eat or kill or both. Even Jack the Ripper, he was like this too. He did not kill high society or people that were trying to do stuff with their life. He would kill people like street people, and that's why nobody cared. That's why he got away with murdering so many people. So, even if you don't have a lot of money, just try to make a difference somewhere and be polite because you will get your ass killed in this world. Oh, yeah, I know. I have a higher IQ, I guess you can say. And when I get bored, these are the things I do. I look up coordinates for black holes. And then when people I scratch my head like, man, why are they doing this? I look up criminal psychology. So, because I like to know the truth, the core to the truth of why people are doing what they do. And I get my answers because I feel everything is scientific. I even feel that religion's scientific because if you think about it, ley lines are energy. And most of your holy places are on major ley lines. Major ley lines. So there has to be a correlation between religion and that. And religion is about energy. So there you go. And these are the things I do all day because I'd like to do something with my life. Oh, I thought it was my comment. But yeah, that's. I always feel that as humans, that we should do something interesting and that could give back. And I feel that we should always research what went wrong in certain areas, or we're never going to evolve. And I don't. And it's crazy that people think there's no life in other universes when they're literally discovering multi universes. And they are seeing the possibility of these multi universes. They're the scientists now are calling out, just like me sitting here live streaming on YouTube, in another multiverse in the same timeline. There's a past and present that's maybe a couple seconds apart, where one random thing happens, like you moved your cup, but it looks the same, but it's not the same. And sometimes you fall into these, and it's good to have something to stabilize you. I think, in my other house, it was on a major ley line, and it was a haunted fucking house. And there was a lot of times I would see the house was different, and I was sitting there, and I would be like, I would just literally walk, and everything looked different, but the same. And I started putting my crystals out in certain places, things that I knew and I was familiar with, and I called it slipping. But I think what I did was, since we were on such a major ley line, I fell into a multi universe for a couple seconds, and everything was in a different spot. So I started paying more attention and putting different things in different places. And I did this for a while, and I thought I was going crazy, but I think sometimes this happens, and only with the place that there's heavy ley lines. I can't prove it, but with all this multi-universe thing now that James Webb Telescope is slipping, I guess when I call it slipping in this house, I used to. The one time I came out of the bathroom, opened the door, and the house was empty. There was no furniture, and I was like, "Where's my furniture?" It was crazy. But these is the things that sometimes what happened to me in this house. But I feel it was because of the energy. I feel it was because of the energy of the ley lines that surrounded me. So sometimes, I had cats at that time. I would grab my cat, and when I seen I was in one of these spots, I didn't know if there was something waiting for me. It was weird. So I would take my cat, and sometimes I'd only see one cat, and the other cats weren't there. It was weird. So I'd take my cat and I would go in a room, or I would try to like go downstairs, or I would try to do one thing to reset it. The one time I couldn't get out of the one, I brought my cat in the bathroom with me, and I waited, and then I just sat there, and then I used to have like all these little crystals out because I used to slip a lot. And then I would wait and then come back out, and then things would get back to normal. And then the one time something was knocking on the door, and it was kind of nasty, but it would look like my son, and it was weird. So I started just ignoring these things because I felt like, and then I would literally come, and I would, when I came back from slipping, my son would sit there and was like, he's like, "Where were you?" And I would sit there and I would look at Zach, and I would be like, "What do you mean? Where am I? Where was I? I was in the damn bathroom. Where were you?" I go, "Where was all the damn furniture the one day?" And he was like, "Mom, what are you tripping?" I was like, "No." And I literally had my cat. So I feel like if you're in one of these situations with the ley lines, you have to have something that stabilizes, that can hold energy. It has to either be some type of crystal, because they are really good at storing your own personal energy, or like a pet. It's something living or a crystal. So, anyways, I opened the door and everything was fine, and it happened to me a lot of times, and it was scary. At least at this new apartment, I don't think we're on a lot of ley lines like that because I don't get any more slipping. Thank God. It was scary. And even him to my younger son. Sometimes he would slip and see things too. So I'm thinking it was the ley lines. I don't think I'm overly gifted like this. I just think I just have been in a weird situation. Your phone is going into other people's video calls. Oh, I'm sorry. I sympathize. My phone is on hospice, and I don't know how the fuck it survives. It's like, God, it's like 5 years old. I have Google storage just to back up my phone until my son finally gets my taxes done, which he says he has all year to get them done. And I told him by then I'm gonna be at his doorstep asking for a phone. But I'm here every day, so if your phone gets working or you restart it, I would restart it. Restart your phone and it should be fine. I always restart mine. Oh, you go ahead and watch your YouTube videos. I was going on Ozzy. Do I believe in astral projection? Oh, okay. I mean, I listen to Ozzy and people before I come on here. I love Ozzy. That guy's just amazing. I like Black Veil Brides. And I'm really vibing on Mushroom Head's new album. Oh my god. You gotta watch Mushroom Head's new album. They have this incredible lady singer that she has one red eye and one black eye. It's great. It really is. I love it. And the Evil Dead, they have like this video with this that's the part of the Evil Dead when they got the Book of the Dead and they're reading it, and they have this badass song, and they actually they're the girls singing, they're sing, and then some of them are rapping. I didn't know Mushroom had rapped. I mean, they really stepped up their game. So I can talk about something. Hey, things happen. I mean, I take things day by day. Maybe you were just meant to be the conversation and the energy brought you. But I do believe in astral projection. I think that that does happen, but I think you really got to be focused because I think it's like you got to meditate or something. I don't know from what I hear. When I got real sick when I was younger, I think I must have astral projected or some crazy shit. My dad was in Vietnam and he came just in my room and said I looked dead. He said I wasn't breathing and he was getting ready to call 911 and I came back, but I was real sick. I think when I get real sick, shit happens. And I think the universe takes care of enlightenment for me because they know I'm not doing the effort. And I won't do the effort. That's how horrible I am. Well, see, that's my problem. I don't like a lot of work because I have enough all day long to deal with, and that's just a lot. Just for me to be able just to relax and be able to live stream and have a normal life, I have to do 2 12s on the weekends. I'm in work 8 hours on Friday because I have bills. And I just get so tired of dealing with states coming in. And oh my god, when states come in and they're like the police, everybody in the whole building's gone fucking crazy. I can't be there for another state inspection. I already take off Wednesday and Thursday, so I just can't be there Monday through Thursday. And then I never got to worry about being there for state inspection. I'd rather be chilling out on the weekends, getting that money, and making the extra money, and then Monday through Thursday when all hell breaks loose, I'm at home and I'm chilling. So this is pretty much where I'm at. I don't know. Maybe then I might have time for projecting, or maybe the universe will make me really sick again. Who knows? You get only so much energy and words to use each day. Oh, I got lots of energy. Lucid dreaming is hard, but fun when it happens. Oh, I have that every day. Every day I have lucid dreams. I get these weird ass dreams every day, and I'm thinking, when I was younger, I thought it was because I listened to too many horror movies. But then when I got older, I realized it wasn't. I mean, I just have really weird dreams, and they have like sometimes symbolism to it. And I don't go out of my way, I guess, to try to have them. They just happen. And they're not always death dreams. Sometimes they're just something that's going to happen, like an event that's going to happen. Sometimes I dream of details of the next day. That happens every day. And it's usually something that's going to happen. Like I'll see a glimpse of the next day what I'm supposed to see that benefits me, and then I act a certain way because I seen it in my dreams. I seen my mother's death, and I just kept warning her to go to the hospital, and she just did it. So, but that's just a different thing. Maybe she was meant to die either way. I don't know. I leave this up to the universe, but I do get these dreams every day, and I don't ask for them. I'm exhausted sometimes from work, and sometimes I'm in a food coma before I go to bed, and all of a sudden I'm not thinking about nothing, and they disappear. And then I don't think anything of it, and then the next day, a lot of events from that day start just coming to full circle, and I know what to avoid every day. So it's kind of nice. I get a 411 on the next day sometimes. Dreams are adjustments to disposition to help cope with your environment. I've heard that. And then psychologically, they say that dreams come, like all your psychologists, they say that dreams come from your subconscious. And it's some kind of thoughts that you thought of, but sometimes they come out in a weird way. Like if you have a really weird dream, some things were in your subconscious, and they say that your mind plays tricks on you because of the triggers in the brain. Clinically, that's what they say where dreams come from. So, and generally, like a lot of times, like today, I kind of had a dream that I was over on another unit, and because I'm afloat, so it'll give me specifics, and I never know where I'm at. But today I was in the thing, but it could have been left over from another day at work. I don't know. But clinically, they have always an answer for everything. Well, life isn't always horrible. I think life is about gathering and finding out what you love. I mean, I've had a lot of bad things happen, but I think people that happens. But I've had a lot of good things that happen. I made it to Disney World a couple times. I have two decent sons, and I got a pretty decent job. So I mean, I haven't. I mean, their love has disappointed me time for time, but one does love not disappoint at times. That's just what it does. Sometimes you just can't focus on these things. These patterns appear when they're gonna appear. But I guess you just gotta hope for the best and try to help who you can along the way. I mean, I've helped Chong, I've helped out a couple dogs in my life, I've helped out some cats, I've helped out some people, and I'm happy of where I went in my life. I might not be a major influencer of this time, but it's okay. I'm more of a one on one person, I guess, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I guess if you think you're always going to be disappointed and everything's bad, you're going to attract negative energy. I try to just think positive and just do things I like to do. And I like to look up scientific theories, and I like to try to pretend I know a couple things about this or that. And then I get questions in my mind, and I'm sure the scientists shake their head like, what the fuck? But there's nothing wrong with idle curiosity. I mean, we all didn't go to Harvard and get a PhD. But there's nothing wrong with if you're interested in hurricanes or black holes, researching and studying them. It gives you stuff to do in your life. It makes your brain move. It really is. It honestly is. Negative, whatever energy you were putting out, you're gonna attract energy of the same. That's generally how this all goes. So I try to just think of everything in a different perspective and start out fresh every day. I do. I just like to start out fresh. I don't like to deal with the chaos of the day before because a new cycle happens every day. There's cycles upon cycles upon cycles, and there's circles. When I was dead, or when I flatlined, I don't know. I was a med student was on here the one time, and he said I didn't die. He said if they paddled you right away when literally you went limp, you went unconscious. So maybe you don't go dead. He said dead is dead, and I was unconscious, so maybe I was unconscious. Maybe in your unconscious self, like when you're close to death, is when things trigger. I don't know. The med student's probably right. I do get a couple medical students over here because I could speak a lot of medical stuff, a lot, all day. You never have bad ones. I don't know. I don't have bad dreams, but the thing is I enjoy horror movies. I like them. So I guess I don't really attract bad energy. I give good energy, but it's just to me. I love horror. I love it. I'm a horror buff. I love B movies. Love it. Hellraiser is one of my favorite movies. I mean, I want to say the original Hellraiser by Clive Barker. Love it. And George Romero, rest in peace. Love him. I want to actually try to. When I was real sick, and like the medical students said, I went unconscious, for they paddled me. I had a for a lot. I think it was lot 42, and I got the idea for like it was like a new kind of zombie thing. And I was probably when I was in unconscious thought I was thinking of Salem's Lot. So, but the whole book came to me. Everything, the idea. So, I want to do that to kind of honor George Romero because he's never going to make another zombie movie because he's dead. And he's incredible. The Night of the Living Dead it was wonderful. It was even historical. It had one of the first black actors in it as a main actor, and George Romero brought it, and movie will live on forever in our culture. Period. I mean, he's awesome. So I guess when I have these dreams, to me they are fun because I enjoy this kind of stuff, and I'm always trying to think of the perfect monster to write about. And I'm very good at writing a murder scene. I'm very good at it. Love scenes, not so much. I try to learn how to write a love scene, but I kind of know it, but I'm not very good at it. Not at all. It doesn't come out like some of these other writers. Blood fart. What you got, hemorrhoids or something? I mean, I don't know. You better get some cream on that butt. Those hemorrhoids could be horrible. Trust me. I have children. So, and it is not fun. I found this pipe while I was cleaning yesterday. I'm tired of the bong, and then the husband works so damn much. He does never cleans it. He had me bring some little pokey things home, so hopefully he cleans it. I don't know. I'm not touching that thing. That's all I know. Oh, it's a gamer tag. I don't know. I thought you had hemorrhoids. I mean, I am in medical. I'd be going and they'd be calling me, got the call late going. Next thing I know, I'm hearing about how their ass hurts and they're sorry they pooped and this and that. And I'm like, why are you sorry you pooped? We'd had to give you an enema or something. I'm just like, you pooped, you pooped. It is what it is. And I move it along. I see this stuff all day long. I just bring, when I start work, I just go and look for ass cream. I get a whole bunch of it because it seems like they all have ass problems. When you get old, I guess this is what happens. So I guess look forward to zinc oxide when you get older. Because zinc oxide is going to be the way, is going to be your way. I think even guys get hemorrhoids eventually. It's something that people will remember. The blood farts are the other guy's problem. Oh, that's funny. I mean, that's a name no one will ever forget. I don't have very good hand-eye coordination, and I'm always on a project or a mission all the time. I don't, and then I'm always doing other stuff. So maybe this is why I'm not a gamer. Because I have horrible eye-hand coordination. But I'll look up crazy shit and put and correlate things and then come up with some half-cocked theories. I do this all the time. You love gaming, so is my husband. Loves it. I did literally poop blood last week. Stress does it. I got depressed and affected me physically. I'm trying to think what I usually. When I get really stressed out, I obviously smoke weed when I'm stressed out. But try to, if you're getting stressed out like that, what I do is try to find something that you like to do. Maybe it just maybe just start gaming because that's what my husband does when he gets stressed out. But maybe if gaming's not enough, find something else to get your mind off things. Because the main thing when you're getting depressed and all that, but if you're pooping out blood, get zinc oxide. It's cheap. You go to the dollar store, it's like a couple bucks, and then you just stick it right there, and it'll heal it all up. Hopefully, you don't have to get the hemorrhoidal suppositories in, because I don't think anybody likes those. They look at you like you're the devil coming. Oh, you don't get physical problems if you're happy. Always my skin falls off and turns red, and I'll poop blood. You have, I have combat PTSD and hyperactive. So your skin is shedding and turning red. So you have layers of skin coming off. I mean, I would get that checked. Because that shouldn't be happening. Oh, I think everyone does that. Gaming to relax you. Well, if your skin is literally falling off and turning red and stuff, honestly, I would talk to a doctor about that because that could be a sign of an autoimmune disease. It really can. Because there's some autoimmune disease that are triggered from it's your the when you're like when you're upset or depressed, you give off different neurons and they send off different signals, and sometimes they could trigger an autoimmune disease. And I don't really like doctors. I think they're horrible, but sometimes you have to go to them, and that's what it sounds like to me. So, I mean, and they can be pretty damn nasty autoimmune diseases. So, this is a very true fact here. See, even my other friend, Controversy. I like that. Is that a gamer name too? Controversy? Flakes fall off, good for years, at a time on between. Blood work was perfect, only low carbon monoxide from planet. Do you smoke cigarettes? I'm just wondering because you're having increased carbon monoxide. I'm thinking maybe it's from smoking. I mean, you smoke some of this, like cigarettes can do it, but if you're smoking any, I don't think weed does it. I know cigarettes do, and I don't know, possibly vapes. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but it's possible. But you would have to be smoking something for that. I don't know. Maybe they can give you anxiety pills. I was on happy pills for a while. You can. I just honestly wanted off the pills. I just exercised more to get my. If you exercise long periods of time, you can actually battle depression. And if you got at the time I was a little overweight, so I said, "What the hell?" and just started exercising a lot. That helps. Or you might need the happy pills from the doctor. All it does is mood altering pills, and it makes you happy, and it keeps you even. It just keeps you real even. I was on those for a little bit, but sometimes they get expensive, and I just figured I just I keep myself occupied, and then I don't have to worry about it as much. I feel it's bad if I'm just if I don't know. I'm doing other stuff. I hated the tired feeling. Well, maybe. I mean, I guess if you're gonna do all that, I honestly like. Sometimes I have crystals, like certain ones that I vibe with that I keep on, and sometimes those will help because it is proven scientifically that crystals, how they're made and everything, store energy. And technically, we're made of. I mean, I guess if you want to, there's a lot. We have a lot of kind of like electro waves on us and everything. We have a lot of different energies, and it does pick up on things, and electrical currents. So I maybe try using a crystal. to center yourself and just think of all your bad stuff that you want to get rid of and put it in the crystal. And then they say, my friends were telling me that you put it on the windowsill. My mom used to say that you put on the windowsill, but or you put in your car, and when it hits the sun, it takes all that energy you had that was bad. It gets trapped in the crystal, and then it turns it good and positive, and you could keep it in there for a month or so or whatever, and then you put it on, and you get your energy back, and it's happy energy. Maybe try that. I've heard people say it works, and it's cheap. I would try a quartz if for beginners. I mean, this is a moonstone opal, and it was really, really blue before this eclipse, and then it started getting lighter and lighter. Now it's almost damn white. So something happened. Okay, you heard the guys talk about chakras. I've heard about that, but I don't. I know what I guess chakra. I don't understand what they mean by these chakras. They don't really have any scientific meaning. These chakras. I thought. I mean, I don't know. Are they energy? I mean, I always go into the stores when I'm getting the little crystals and all that and the chakras, but I'm just such a. I guess they call me just a natural witch because I just do what kind of feels right and do it, and somehow it ends up okay. And I don't research any of this kind of stuff, and it's sad. I really should. I'm more interested if a black hole's gonna make a volcano go off. Hmm. Oh, okay, the third eye thing. You don't think these black holes are gonna do nothing? Have you seen these things? These black holes are crazy looking. The one they found in the Milky Way was bigger than Earth. It's like a vacuum, these things. I want to say they're. Are you okay, Chong? They're like the garbage dumps of the universe. They just keep sucking in all this garbage, and they say eventually it pops things out. I'm terrified of these damn black holes. I don't want to die in a black hole. I want a bullet to my head, personally. I guess. But they say there's supposed to be galaxies in these black holes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, he's my rescue buddy here. Here. Oh my god. I have the worst hand on the world. Here you go. I'm chewing on this bone. I got him on it's a knuckle bone. I get it from the farmer's market. It's from an actual cow. Because my dog likes to chew on real bones, not fake bones. He's a very specific kind of dog. The black hole live longer than stars. Well, they say that black holes, when they die, they give birth to a universe, so they probably are older. Oh, we're not gonna live forever. I mean, you live in one body for so long, and then from what I hear from people that remember other lifetimes, you get reborn again eventually. Sometimes right away, some people wait a little bit longer. Some people do it right away and then you get reborn again and then you forget what you did before, and some people actually remember. Oh, excuse me, their other life. I don't remember other lifetimes. I just sometimes know that there's something different about me, but then I know some people and scientists have actually proven that there are past lives because psychiatrists, did the hypnotism thing and everything on all these people that remember their past lives, and they've proven that it was a true thing. So a lot of scientists and doctors are going towards the idea of God, even though they hate to do what they do. I say there is God, but I think it's correlated with science. It's just a way of kind of explaining God's energy. But that's how I'm thinking of it. Maybe that's how God kind of gives us random possibilities through these quantum universes that pop up with like one detail different. Maybe this is how things work. Maybe these are the way things always have worked. And then they say that they feel there's little universes in these black holes. They're finding a lot of attributes to these black holes, but the thing is we're getting a lot of underwater volcanoes, a lot. And they're saying there's a major disaster coming, and our kids are may die in a horrible way. That's what they're calling for. They said Earth will still be standing. It's just but these volcanoes are, and there's going to be a lot of destruction when these they go off. So I don't know. I hope maybe everybody dies quickly and without any problems. I don't know, but I do like to. I do get bored and I like to listen to good stories. And then I was on YouTube, and I thought on Facebook was the only people that had long drawn out stories. It was to say one simple thing, and then somebody actually wrote a comment. I subscribe to them, but I don't ever unsubscribe to people. They put a lot of effort out there to do their stuff, so even if I don't watch them, I just still subscribe because they put a lot of effort. But anyways, there was a little girl that was pregnant that came to a lady's door, and they have these, but sometimes Facebook has them where it changes up, it gets stuck, and then you lose half the story. So all those digital creators kind of get screwed over because people pass over their stuff because they can't get to the whole story. But I found some of those on YouTube, but actually the whole story was there. So they had a lot. They did have a lot of subscriptions too. But it looked like it took them a long time to put together this video. Probably at least a week. That's a long time for me, a week. The risk of large events we can't imagine is always present. And this is true, but it is kind of scary. But maybe, since we'll be dead, maybe it'll work out in the end. Who knows? Maybe by that time there'll be less population where all these events happen and there won't be a lot of suffering. I mean, I guess that's one thing that would be good about it. but I guess it's supposed to happen. I mean, look what happened in poor Pompeii. A volcano. They didn't know that the volcano was active, and they had those two people that were kissing. And I don't know how. In the story of Pompeii, that two people literally being burned in fucking volcanic lava could kiss because it was like it's in one of those museums, and they have the two people kissing as Pompeii literally got obliterated by this volcano, and they still have it, and it's you can visit it. It's a historical site. One of these days, I want to go visit it. I think that's when I've visited a lot of fun places. I think I want to visit places that are controversial. Like I want to go visit the monks. And the thing is I'm not what I guess I don't know. I'm not as holy as them, and sometimes they're not overly scientific, so I feel it would be good content because they probably would just scratch their head because they're monks and they're very very holy. But I've never talked to a monk or been to a monk place. I would like to do that. And ayahuasca, I think it's ayahuasca. I would like to go to the country where they have that, and they have like some kind of priest that comes and while you're doing this ayahuasca, and there's a ceremony, and it's very expensive. I guess the Beatles did it like before they did their albums. That's why they're so like psychedelic and stuff. But it costs them a lot of money because you have to travel to that country, and then they have certain people that minister in a certain way, and it does give you the most enlightenment. So that is one of my life goals before I die. So I can't die till I travel to this country and do that. And I don't even know if they would let you tape it. I would totally love to have it taped. I would have to ask. I really would, because that would be so cool. Oh yeah, I heard how that ayahuasca stuff. You literally the world separates, and it's like the biggest trip you'll ever have, and it has to be. It cost the Beatles $10,000 to go there, and then back then that was a lot of money. So to go, and you got to go through this forest. So for me to get there, I've researched this because sometimes I got nothing else better to do. I'm gonna probably need about over $50,000, and then hopefully I don't get eaten by a spider or something that's gonna kill me on my way of getting to the ayahuasca, because you got to go to like these different holy temples, and then you got to walk through this like part of like a rainforest type thing, and it's supposed to be a little dangerous, but you have guides that bring you there. That's part of the package. So I'm not nowhere near that rich, but when I do, that's what I'm going to do. And I feel, and a lot of people said that that's why a lot of the Beatles stuff got really weird, their songs and stuff. I think Ozzy did it too. Went through that damn forest, and he did it. A lot of famous people do this, and I feel it would be fun. It's on the bucket list before I die. But I would need a lot of money for that. And they may let me tape it. Who knows? Okay, yeah, they will let you do to. Well, I think it's not just really. It's for spiritual enlightenment. This ayahuasca. So puke and crap, sweat, fight, dehydration, and increase heart rate, and trip balls probably fast for 24 hours at least. No, they keep you hydrated. That's in the package. I mean, it's a lot of money. They literally watch over you. These priests, they administer it and they make sure you're hydrated and they put you on a path to spiritual enlightenment. And they supervise you and everything. It's very expensive and it's not like something you do all the time. It's like you just do it for like for spiritual reasons. And it's not legal in the United States for this, so you got to go to a whole other country for it. And with all these COVID things going on, I probably would, and all these different stuff going on, I might have to wait. But I don't have the money anyway, so it's on the bucket list. So by that time, I might, and it might be okay to go. Triggers a part of your brain that prepares for death. You will definitely have new perceptions after. You will know things you didn't know you knew. Have you done these things, Mr. Fart, that needs some zinc oxide or something in his life? I feel you've done mushrooms or something. And it's okay if you did. Because in the UK, they said that they they have microdosing, so it's actually legal in the UK. It's fine if you did. It's not the worst thing that anybody could do. Oh, okay. I see. You're very experienced at these things. I don't know, maybe when I had my near death experience, when the medical students said I was unconscious before they brought me back, maybe I did trip balls when they had me on all that stuff. Possibly. Maybe that happens when you're real sick and they're giving you all those drugs. Who knows? I know that I didn't. I thought little Smurfs were walking around for a while because I don't do drugs like that, so I don't know. I I mean I do my little bit of weed, but that's it. And then I quit cigarettes and I vape a little just because if I have one of these days where I just want a couple puffs, I'm not trying to get back to cigarettes. Because I want a Marlboro Smooth. Trust me, I love menthol cigarettes. I love Newports. The Newports don't love me. This is the problem. Hi, Chong. We'll go out in a little bit, alright? We went all the way to the park. All the way, Chong. You shouldn't have any poop or pee in there from you earlier. I came home and he had to walk all the way up to the smaller park by our house. Go all through the back way where the coyotes are pretty much claimed half of this land in the back. So we only go during the day. Being 8:30 and all, I'll probably just go around the property. This is what I do. I like to just go around the property because I'm not trying to deal with a 200-pound coyote that wants to rip my head off. I'm good. This is not on my list of the ways I want to die. They don't have a gun or a bullet, so I feel that the coyotes don't need to be my friend. So I'm okay. I seen one of those coyotes that one day, and it was too close for comfort. Oh yeah, who doesn't like psychology and medicine? It's some interesting shit. It really is. Medical field, honestly. I like. I just respect the human brain. I respect us on so many different levels. My friend Carla, that was studying the light language, she said we're all a version of a god. We all can do a lot or very little or nothing with our lives, and some people are saying that we are the gods because our brains are so geared to the universe. There's so many arguments about that and so many possibilities. So, and I don't know for sure, and I won't ever know for sure, but it's always fun trying to find out and to contemplate. Or you sit home and you're bored. And sitting home bored is not fun. It really isn't. Sometimes it's fun to have fun things going on. I mean, at work, my one friend, she like sets up like for parties. She does she cooks and for parties and all that, and she has a band. So I promote her band on, and she's a part of my Chong group. So, but she had Polish boys, and every time we work on the weekend, she makes a bunch of food. So Gail made me, and then I'm not usually big on hot dogs, but I guess these were more of not a standard hot dog. It was okay. I'm not big on meat, but I had one. But I feel when you have fun and do little random things, it makes your life better. The brain passes copies of files to both sides of your brain. They pass between constantly back and forth. The cortex deserves observes from the center, like standing between two mirrors. That's deep. You must have had one hell of a trip to come up with something that deep. That is very deep. I think that you got like that sounds like a scientific theory to me. But our brain is amazing. And they say our brain evolved because they say the space dust is constantly going on the earth and it goes in our soil, and they said that our brains were smaller, and because of like different minerals they keep like discovering in Antarctica and different places that by the poles where it gets like most of the outer space stuff. It eventually gets in our water system, and they said that, and I forgot the name of the chemical. There was a chemical, and when it we kept consuming it our brains got bigger and we got smarter. But they said it was because of space dust creating a certain chemical. That's what the scientists are saying, and it could be true. It could not be true, and it could be true because you can't say that they're wrong, but you can't say they're fully right. But you can't tell somebody that just because something sounds ridiculous when a scientist saying that they're wrong. So I mean, who knows? I mean, the world's a big place. Well, obviously, that's why it's a theory. It's your personal theory. I was pissing off scientists over on Facebook. I was just trying to propose a fun topic, and I didn't mean it to be taken all seriously like we're in the middle of NASA. And all I said was is the black holes when they're when the black holes they have some kind of impact And I was wondering if, because they, when the black holes were coming closer, if somehow whatever energy or whatever they were letting out was affecting the volcanoes. And sometimes they would get angry, people that in the scientific community, because they said it sounded ridiculous, but it was just an innocent statement to start a conversation. And I believe in common people should have a voice in scientific or whatever they want to say. But a real smart person got in our discussion, and they they did tell me why it doesn't affect the oceans, which is good because I did want to answer to it. But sometimes they take things too seriously. I feel if it's in a book, it doesn't make a fact, and especially if you're talking about something that we can never prove or see, how can you judge on this? You're not gonna let, if you were able to see a black hole, you would die before you got there. This is the truth. So, I mean, it's interesting to study them, but do I want to sit there and get all close and personal with a black hole? No, thank you. But I would, if this James Webb is going to go all around a black hole, then they can go right ahead, and we can learn what we can from that. But I'm not going to go near it. It's just like when my mom used to always tell me, if your friends all jumped off a bridge, would you go jump off the bridge with them? She always used to tell me that shit all the time, and then I used to think she was crazy, and now I realize why she said this shit. So I guess I just sometimes I anger them because I feel everyone has a voice in this whole discussion, and I feel that they try to keep out the common person. I feel that. I feel they exclude it because they're smarter and they studied this and that, and just because it's in a book, they feel it's fact. And the thing is, if they did not go and actually get all the information on the specific black hole they had, and they don't have any concrete proof except for a lot of theories that make it look like they know everything, but they really don't because they made up something. But they don't know a lot about these black holes, but they like to say they know a lot about them, but they don't. How could you? I mean, James Webb is starting to go around the Milky Way, but there's a lot of stuff going on up in that Milky Way. There's black holes that are merging and everything else. If you were to go, you would have to be in that Milky Way, and you would never survive. You would die. So I don't know why they sometimes act like they're better than everyone else. Because that's the only way they would be able to prove that they were right or wrong. And scientists always try to act smarter and they're right and this and that, and when they're not right, they get very butthurt. I've noticed that. But Stephen Hawking was a different breed of person, I feel. I kind of liked him. I like him because I feel he was humble because he was sick. He had to build his own wheelchair. I mean, Stephen Hawking had a lot he had to go through in his life, and I really hope when he gets reborn again, it's to a healthy body. Because he's done a lot for us, and he was never, I don't know, you want to say stuck up. Because with him, I think it was polio. He had polio. And when he had polio and it took just a lot from him, he had to literally take care of himself. He had to build his own chair, everything. And then he just affected us and the world in a big way. It's just terrible that he had to literally build a supercomputer to be able to talk. But I really hope that he finds peace in death. Because I feel he was always the most kindest person in the scientific community. And probably because he was so sick and since he couldn't speak and he built his own chair, people probably looked at him kind of funny still. Because people could be cruel. In all his little interviews, he's very nice and he was always very humble. That's why, I want to say I've liked about him the most. And the thing is he was the smartest one out of all of them, and he was the one that was different, the one that was in a wheelchair that was different, that everybody they respected, but he had a long road down, and hopefully he's resting in peace somewhere. I don't see where he could have went any place bad. It probably is boring, but I feel you give a lot in society being a genius. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we would not know about if it wasn't for him. And I just feel like he gives clarity to stuff. And I don't know if there's going to be another genius to fill his shoes. The next Stephen Hawking is going to be, it's going to be a tough job. You just can't be a specific kind of doctor to do that. You're going to have to know quantum physics, linear theory, and you're going to have possibilities to claim a new theory and write a whole entire paper. So I don't know how long it's going to take to find someone smart like him in the whole community. I couldn't tell you because I don't think any of them could top him because no one's able to build their own chair. He'd be scared any large contributions. It backfires, but it makes a change. It gives awareness. It always does. Change has to happen for a new circle to come. And I believe all this new scientific research does prove if there's quantum universes, which now they're saying there is. They always said there wasn't, but Stephen Hawking thought there was. Now they're saying there is quantum universes, so I guess that's why you should always try to be more positive because they say there in one moment you live, you're living three moments at one time. One thing Stephen Hawking would say a lot is the prime numbers are one and three. That's why its trinities are so important. They are. And when three people of high energy come together, it really creates a ripple. And three is a very powerful number as much as one. And all through religion, all the pretty much God always is involved in a trinity. The Christians say it's the dove and Jesus, his son, and then God. The Holy Trinity. The dove is obviously peace. And then, Jesus reflects children and then God. And honestly, I don't it doesn't mean it was an actual living being. These trinities, if you break it down how they're interpreted, The Holy Scriptures, when they always you're always dealing with the Trinity because it's a major number. I mean, it's if and they always say that the Bible is not literal. It's always parables. So it's saying God is comparable, and every Christian gets really messed up with all this. They say that God actually had a son. I don't believe God actually had a son. I believe when the Bible is done, it was saying that we are kind of like sons and daughters, but I don't think he actually had one. And the dove is literally it just means God is caring like a parent would be and peaceful, and these are sides of him. I believe this, but then a priest would probably want to murder me, so it is what it is there. I have gotten many arguments with priests. Oh, let's see if I had another comment, but I didn't. I've lived my when I was 10 years old, I was arguing with priests. I have led a very different kind of life, and they would get angry with me and tell me to go to confession all the time. Catholic school does this. You don't see three eyes or ears on any species. I'd find more meaning in the two having. Redundancy in this way. It could be, but three is a major prime number. There has to be something with the Trinities too. A lot of, if you look at religion and science, three correlates a lot. In the third eye, that's another example. It's a trinity. It's a trinity of your soul, I guess you could say. Your third eye is just the eye that you actually are seeing the universe with. So that's three. And there's fours. Sometimes there's a circle of four of things. But I feel, and if you're talking about like a power thing, it's always one or three, and one equals three, or three equals one. It Most religions, when you like kind of research religions, this is how this happens. So it's just something that's just there. It's weird, but even the story of I got the story of Giglabash. That's just the best story. He's always that's like a major thing too. They say that led to Christianity and everything else. Why not base religion on science? I would love to. Yeah, I would. Honestly, I feel I'm more scientific than anything. That's why I don't. I guess that's why I don't choose to know every word that somebody kind of made for tarot reading and this or that. Because I'm very scientific and I like to follow energy. And I like to understand it at its core. And I feel scientifically is where we're going to find our answers, not in a Bible. And if I do offend somebody saying that, then it is what it is. You're on a tarot reading. You're dealing with a tarot card reading person, so you get what you get there. But science, I mean, they were advanced enough where we could track energy. And I think we could find a lot of our answers through there. Because I feel that sometimes religion isn't so foolproof, and sometimes it loses a lot of its punch. So, and science will tries to find an answer. Science found an answer why we're smarter. The minerals that are coming in the soil, and they said if like the stuff there is combining with ours and making new minerals. So there was an answer there. So if you want to say God's all around us, I guess science would say God's all around us. So I do think science is like a religion. The Catholic Church hates science. They really do. They hate it. They hate that there's geologists that go out there and research scientifically the Bible. They hate it. So, and this is where I would argue with priests a lot too. Based upon. Well, yeah, we're too concerned about what other people say as a society. You should worry about what you feel because that's the most important thing. And I know it's horrible to say, but it's true. And I feel that people want to be like someone else. They want to have a purse that everyone else has. Why be like everyone else? It, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. We're not robots. We're not all the same. But this is what society does to us. That's why I don't get overly concerned about material things. And I try to expand my mind every day. Because I feel that this is the existence that I was meant to live. And that's just it. And my mom always said before she died, because she actually knew astrology way better than me and researched it more and was less scientific, but I feel we went on the same path without going on the same path because I followed that path through science and she followed it through astrology, which astrology has a lot to do with the planets and math. So, pretty much astrology and science are one altogether, anyways, which people will argue with you about, but it is true. It is absolutely true. If you look at astrological charts, it's all about a big number grid. You get a big number grid going, and these things happen. And I literally will talk to people about this, and they think I'm crazy because sometimes you gotta literally see the world for what it is. I think we're in a world of random possibilities, and it's kind of, I mean, a lot of people tell me that I've tripped a lot and stuff. It's like the Matrix. A lot of people say that on the Matrix there was multi dimensions and everything. And when these dimensions opened up, there was one person that controlled everything from a certain place. And maybe we are sort of like the Matrix. Maybe these multi universes are just different planes of existence. They say that there's a theory going around that some people think it's crazy. It's that they say a world within a world within a world within a world. That this is the theory. They say one world holds several different worlds, and it's very big stuff. And they may be right. Because that's a possibility right there. I think there's a world within a world within a world. Some people don't, some people do. But I like to think that there is, and there's enough people that has tripped that have said this, and then scientists are now saying it. So I believe that there's something to this. So people are tripping are saying it, and scientists. I mean, Einstein used to do things like that, and I think I was reading he was autistic too. So he said that when he traveled, when he did psychedelics, I think it was mushrooms or something. I think Einstein used to do mushrooms, and I think he drank and smoked. Everybody smoked weed back then. Weed was just a normal plant that grew, so nobody gave a fuck about it. But Einstein, I know, did mushrooms, and he said he would go to universe of numbers, and he was a genius. So obviously. And he didn't do well in math when he was living. He didn't get high grades in math. He just made his own math up and correlated everything. So it's a lot to think about in one day. But I have some deep thoughts all the time. But the husband got home, so tomorrow I'm gonna contemplate on more things, and maybe we could talk about some more half cock theories that people that are very smart with big brains and they're egotistical like to single people out with. I'm closing up so you can go on stream and listen to your music.
Oh, you got that bougie ass coffee too, where everyone else at work has been getting for the past 2 weeks?
For free, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I did not drink the Red Bull one. I had a taste of it and I gave the rest to Tim. And apparently Tim has a heart murmur too, a functional one.
Hey, stop! Hey, what did I say? I said stop. You didn't listen. That's my stuff.
Do you need more squirting? I can get you wet again.
That sounds dirty. Yeah, that's what I just said. That sounds dirty, sweetie.
Oh well, it sounds dirty by me that way.
You like broccoli, cheddar, and bacon soup?
Yeah, I can eat that. But yeah, apparently I did drink half of the one energy drink they had when they're giving away all the free drinks. The one that was cherry, but Tim didn't realize that Red Bull, and he said he was picking up a lot of dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And super speed, and I go, they had Red Bull. They go, I'm not supposed to have that, and then I only drank half of one, so I drank a full one, but just half and half. And then after he drank two, he drank the other half of mine that I got for free.
What you want to order you something, or that'll be good for you tonight?
That's fine because I had a Polish boy because Gail was.
You got a Polish boy.
Gail.
That sounds good as fuck.
Gail cooked it, and we had a party at work.
Oh.
We had the free drinks, and then Gail had 40 Polish boys.
I'm a little bit, Britt. I'm a little jelly.
Oh my god, now you're talking to your people.
Well, yeah, I'm talking to Britt. I'm a little jelly, sweetie.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Well, I had
Exactly.
one.
She said, not today, Brett. She said,
I
not
had
today, you did.
technically one. I gave my brother the other half to drink because he says he knows I'm not
I
sick.
know. I don't
so
deserve that, guess.
he just drank after me, and then I've had one. He had 3. And
I
then
guess
they
I
had
have.
this fancy coffee from this place. And they keep dropping off free drinks, so I'm on my second one. I grabbed 2 of these at work. I like coffee.
You telling me, shit.
I don't know if I'm gonna pay $6 for that size of coffee. I might just make my boss buy me one. I don't know. Oh, Red Bull. I like energy drinks, but with all that stuff I was talking about when they had to revive me, I got a functional heart murmur. So I'm not supposed to have that kind of stuff, or they said I could get high heart palpitations and all this stuff. So I could drink coffee and I'm okay, but energy drinks mess with me, so I gotta watch how much I drink of those. You've seen the Red Bull cars? Oh, cans hidden everywhere before. You know who likes Red Bull is Rob. He drinks a lot of Red Bull. So it is popular. But they take this Red Bull and they put juice and it's like they have like these fancy names for all these little drinks. And a lot of people at work was afraid to drink them. But today they all drank the coffee ones.
Hey, sweetie.
Huh.
I don't know if it'll be on your scavengers, but if you see any of these batteries, get one.
Okay.
Because this is beaten.
Well, Tim's taking me to the store. Probably when your check clears. We're probably gonna go on a Walmart venture.
Okay.
So I'll buy some of those on
Oh yes.
the Walmart venture.
Okay.
Alright, well he's starting to put all his stuff down, so I'm gonna end this, but I'll be back tomorrow. And I enjoyed this conversation. Coffee is out there. And I had to not drink so much of that, but I'm not going to stop coffee. I won't. I'll give up energy drinks and all that, but I won't stop coffee. That I will be drinking that on my deathbed, so.
Oh, the coffee?
Oh, yes. You won't take the coffee from me. I don't care. I will crawl to get a cup of coffee.
Oh, you hear this shit, Britt, yourself. She'll crawl to get a cup of coffee.
So, but I'll be on tomorrow. So if you're already subscribed to me, you'll get the little alerts. And I'm going to send all my Instagram stuff because I'd like to have fun with all my reels. And I got to see what fun holiday is tomorrow. And make a nice sarcastic comment like I always do. So look for those notifications. And I like to put funny things out. Because there was nobody on social media with being mac and cheese day putting it's the other white meat.
Rock.
I was the only asshole to say that today. And I am actually proud of myself because I stand out this way. I'll be here. I'm not going nowhere. I've been over here for a year, and I've been on Facebook for about 2, almost 3 years. So I'm not. Oh no,
she's
anywhere.
not. She said she's been on YouTube. Well, not YouTube. She's been on here for like a year or 2.
No, I've been on. No, I was trying to think. It was Facebook first, and then I revived my YouTube.
No, Michelle, channel. It's not that. Brett thought you was giving our address out.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I was just letting these guys know because I've only been
Oh, I
over
know.
here for like a year.
Because I've
So
already told Michelle, she gives that out. I already told her about that whole sniping shit when
oh.
swatting, I mean, when they'll call and make up some false shit to
Oh
get
well
you in
I'm
trouble.
not doing all that, okay.
Well, no, because like I told her when she started this, I'm like, you gotta be careful. She's like, what you mean? I'm like, there's people out here that likes to get people in trouble. I said it's called swatting. I said it was one person actually who got killed because of it.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, that's why I told you don't ever give our address away or anything
I
because
don't ever give the address.
I know, sweetie, but I'm just saying that's why I told you ahead of time so that shit wouldn't happen.
Oh, you're due.
No, they will. They'll come in, break in. They'll find out where we live at, sweetie. They'll look that shit up and bam.
Oh, well.
And then that's when
I'm just insightful.
That's when the boo boo.
Everyone's intelligent.
Look, that's when the boo boo will have to come into place and fuck someone up.
Okay, I can't even see the phone. You're like Chong. You're everywhere.
Well, that's good. Everyone would know not to fuck with us, or they'll get the smoke from me.
I don't know. I don't give up personal stuff.
Good.
I'll say what. I'm very careful about that. That's
Yes.
why I don't do Facebook
Okay.
Messenger. This is why I don't do one WhatsApp thing, and that's why I don't live stream over there because they were trying to hack into my stuff. So that's why I just do just the funny reels, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I do a actual like 3 minute live stream for my groups, and that's it. That's literally all I do because they get too involved in stuff. But you gotta be careful like that. All right, I'm just gonna cut this off. You are like
Well,
everywhere.
I just got home. Like,
well, I know you're everywhere. I'm trying to scoot over. You're so fast.
No, fast.
You're like a cheetah. You just around. You're everywhere.
Skinny.
Yeah, that is true.
Big boned.
Yeah, I try to be nice and just find intelligent conversation every day. I think that's what everybody does in their own way. It's just some people are horrible at it. So, and this is what I like to do because we're more than just our relationship or our people or whatever. Sometimes you got to be yourself and expand out. And I am a big fan of this, so So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll be back tomorrow for some more insightful, crazy stuff that scientists would probably want me to just be quiet and go away and think I'm a psychopath. But this is what I do. And I'll probably be listening to some grungy music while I'm at it, so. But look for all my little ads because you might even find them funny. Because I do try to make them funny sometimes. But I have to do motivational ones too. Because on Instagram, I am like a motivational person. And that's why I got the check mark. So you'll get a lot of motivational stuff. You're going to get prayers. Because my Chong group, a lot of the people in it are Catholic. So I do a prayer. I have to do motivational stuff. I got do a lot of different variety. And then I just do some fucked up humorous thing just give a little lighten it up a little. So, but you'll see that tomorrow too. I'm gonna probably look for my good night post that I want to use and put that together, and then I'm gonna try to find some funny crazy thing. But this is what I like to do with my life. But hopefully I talk to some of you guys tomorrow. It's usually around 6 o'clock in the evening when I come on because it's
What's up?
easier. Because that's when I get out of the shower and all that from
DVD?
work. So, but
Alright.
I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and hopefully,
Give me a few minutes. I'm rolling up real quick.
hopefully I see you tomorrow. And it's been a lot of fun, and I enjoyed myself. And I hope everyone has a good day, or good night, I should say. And thank you.